this abandoned home, and you come across a small piece of folded cloth.
I put it on my head.
As you unfold it, it turns into a hat. A stylish hat, no less. And when you put it on your head, all the ladies are like, yeah. Welcome to Threshold Moonlight, our D&D 5e podcast. My name is Matt, and I'll be your dungeon master for this adventure.
I'm still laughing at yeah.
Yeah.
And my name is Tom, and I will be your main character, Cress.
We last left Cress in a precarious situation.
He always is. He always is.
I'm a sucker for cliffhangers. What can I say? He was hanging off a cliff. No, he wasn't hanging off a cliff. He was in a thicket, in a clearing, in sort of like a makeshift shelter, sort of just walled off from the world with saplings and other natural cover, waiting for the morning, when he was woken with a start by the sound of his cult fanatic friend.
I thought
surprise,
friend.
Surprise. Oh, cult fanatic friend who he happened to have tortured slightly.
Just slightly. I healed him. I canceled it out.
He is selling you out. He's shouting for his brothers to come. And you hear them coming, and that's where we're going to jump in. They begin paddling out. You see the boats reach the shore, and several, at least 10 cloaked figures emerge from 3 or 4 boats and begin walking your way.
Well, Cress is pissed off. Do you want him to roll initiative, or do I get to run up and just go hog wild?
Are you going to attack?
Yes.
Then yeah, let's roll initiative. It's gonna just be to see if you go first or the mob of baddies goes first. Don't forget that Mal is there with you, so you can roll him as well.
That's a 15 for Cress and a 9 for Mal.
Okay. So Cress will be going first.
Good. Have they landed on their boats?
Some of them are out of the boats walking towards you. They'll be to you for this. All of them will be within close enough range to deal you some damage next turn.
I'm gonna run up
for their next turn. So.
I'm gonna run up towards the ones that have landed, and I'm gonna be pulling out a twig, and I'm gonna thunder wave them as they land. So they need to make a Constitution saving throw while I roll this.
All right, I'll do.
So Crest just
a couple of them.
He hears the yelling of that he's found out. He's gonna just take off running, pull out the twig, snap it.
Con save, you said?
Uh-huh.
Does an 11 succeed?
No.
16.
16 does succeed.
Okay, so 2 of them, you catch 2 of them with this thunder wave, this thunderous clap.
So 2 of them
Describe
are gonna,
it. Maybe 2 of them in a boat still. You just sink the boat, perhaps?
Sure, it's going to push them 10 feet away from me, and this goes out in a 15-foot cube.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now.
It's going to do 8 damage to everyone who failed. So,
okay.
And then anyone that didn't fail is going to take 4.
Okay. They clutch at their chests as the wave of destructive energy washes over them, and steel their resolve to continue their assault towards you. Is that your entire turn?
No, then as a bonus action, he's going to call upon Lunam's fury and become a bear. And just roar. Just be like, "Rrrr."
Okay. Are you making like an intimidation?
Nope. Just a pissed off check.
Okay. A pissed off. Can you roll to the D20 just to see how pissed off you are? Natural 20. Wow.
13.
So pissed off. 13? You're more like an angsty teenager. You guys don't understand me. I'm going to my room. The fanatics begin walking towards you. 3 of them stop next to you, and the rest continue on towards Mal. The 2 that were caught are kind of just off in the lake, swimming to shore. They don't quite make it in time for this attack. So for Mal, a wisdom save.
So this is Mal. Wow. Oh, he's not wise. 16.
16. I need him to make like 4 of them.
Okay. I bought new dice.
Yay!
Another 16, a 0.
Uh-oh.
And a 6.
Okay, so the cult fanatics who run up to him, they sort of form a little semicircle around him, and Ale, still standing over in that area, like covers his mouth and like starts like creep, like it's a giggle, but it's creepy. And the 4 cult fanatics all reach out their hand. They take a dagger and like press their other thumb into the tip.
Yeah.
And a small amount of blood goes trickling down. And as they do so, 4 ethereal hands sort of just shoot forward from all of them and grasp onto Mal. He's able to shake off the first 2, but the second 2 lock down into him. And he's paralyzed. Save ends.
Okay.
The 3 that surround Cress, one of them is going to try the same thing. So make a wisdom save.
Using my lucky dice for this one. Ooh, 21.
The other 2 are going to simply step forward and try to stab you.
My bear C is 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All 4 attacks are going to hit then.
Okay, I've got...
The lowest they rolled was a 12. So, that is going to be 16 piercing damage as they move up to you. Oh, did I say there were 2? Yeah, there were 3 with you, and 2 of them moved up to stab. So the 2 that move forward pull out a short dagger, and they kind of just give you 4 quick, short stabs as they move forward. And that ends the cultist turns. The 2 that were knocked into the water, they've made it to shore at this point as well.
How much damage did they do to me in
16?
total?
16 piercing damage.
Okay. So the bear has taken a pretty big set of stabs, but is okay. Whose turn is it?
Mal's turn.
Mal? Well, I guess he's just gonna struggle against being... He crit fails. He's got another 0 to try and unparalyze himself.
Uh-oh. So one of them remains.
So Mal's just sitting there going... At least I'll see my wife.
You should make both saves just to see if you can break free of one of them.
The other one is an 8.
He also fails that one, so he's still restrained by 2 of those crazy hand things. And the cultists seem to be ready to take him down. That takes us to the top with Cress.
Cress, is there any... There's cultists near him that just stabbed him, right?
Yes, there's 2 of them that are within 5. The third one is maybe 15 feet away.
I got a 22 and a 15 to bite and claw them.
Succeeds.
Okay, and then it has to be 2 different damage die. So he's going to bite for a considerable amount, 9. Bite a big chunk out of a guy, and if he doesn't go down, he's going to claw him as well for 5.
Okay, so that's 14 plus the original 6 or whatever from the thunderclap.
Yeah. I think the thunderclap did less, but I'm okay with rounding up.
Great. He's not dead. But the one that you have started biting and clawing at he's started coughing up blood. And he seems to smile at this thought as he reaches to his mouth and touches
These guys are crazy and hardy.
The red blood. And with that, the fanatics are going to the four up by Mal are going to step forward, and the two who failed their attacks, they pull out a pair of manacles, which they wrench Mal's hands behind his back, slap them on, and then do the same for his feet. They basically just totally incapacitate him, and he's unable to move or take any actions for the rest of the encounter, unless he succeeds a wildly ridiculous DC to break his metal bonds.
He'll go for it, but
he can try.
He's not the strongest guy.
Maybe he could try to lockpick his feet. We'll see. But the fanatics might just end it here, because the one who you have bloodied is going to actually reach up and kind of take a lot of the blood from his mouth into his hand. He's going to reach out, turning his palms to the sky, and the blood will burst into a ball of radiant flame. And he's going to hurl this at you, dealing you 4 radiant damage. And the remaining 2, they're both going to cast their hold person again on you. So make 2 wisdom saves.
20 and 20, not nats.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I forgot about the 2 that you knocked in the water, who are also here as well, who are also going to try and lock you down.
25 and 15.
You succeed all of them somehow. The spectral hands, as these fanatics are reaching out with, crash across you, and you're able to shake off every attempt to hold you.
These are wisdom saves, right?
Yes, wisdom saves.
Yeah, Crest's pretty good at those. So,
that takes us to Mal.
Mal, I guess Mal's gonna strain against his manacles. Just
a strength check.
Yeah, and that's a low one.
Okay, then it'll fail.
It
DC
is a 2.
Is wildly high. Yeah, no. Good thing it's not any lower. Maybe I would have had something bad happen.
Breaks his wrist.
Yeah, that'd be pretty horrible. He's struggling over there on the ground, and Ale, who's standing there, not in this fight because he's kind of creepy and just laughing.
He's crazy, man.
Walks up to Mal and kind of pokes him in the forehead and laughs wickedly.
And Mal's like, I gave you a sword.
Ale doesn't seem to respond to this. He's crazy with some sort of fervor. That takes us back to Cress at the top of the order.
Okay. Cress is going to expend a level 2 spell slot to make this bloody bear heal a bit.
Okay.
Something I've never done before. It's to heal for 9 HP. And the bear's blood begins to recede, and he's gonna try and eat this man in front of him. Not
all
literally,
right.
but
we'll see.
That's a 17 to bite and an 11 to slash.
The bite will hit.
Okay, the bite is the one that does more damage. Cool. That is 9 biting damage.
9 biting damage. You wrench down on this cult fanatic's arm, drawing yet more blood. This just seems to make him happier, and he's still up. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I think that's all I can do.
Okay, so we have 10 cult fanatics, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. We have 9 cult fanatics who are standing here. The 4 who are attending to Mal have broken off and are now ready to assault you. One by one, they're going to attempt to attack you. Does a 14?
Yeah, I have 11. I'm still a bear.
Okay. The first fanatic takes his dagger and runs it down his cheek. Takes his hand and smears it across the blood and flings that at you. That's going to do 9, 10, 15
Oh, God.
plus... just 15. 15 necrotic damage. The second one is going to be a 12. Does that hit?
Yep.
That's going to be 14 necrotic damage.
So that's going to decimate the bear. And
Oh, really?
And now we are... Cress is standing there, also being hurt.
All right. They're going to throw one more of these at you. That's going to hit. That's a 19.
Still going to hit, even though he's got leather armor now.
Okay. That's 14 necrotic damage.
So that's also going to make Cress start coughing up blood.
So that was 3 of them. The remaining 6 are all going to reach out with their spectral, ethereal, creepy hand things, piercing their thumb with their daggers. Make just several con saves, and once you reach less than the DC, we can stop.
You mean
hopefully.
whiz saves?
Whiz saves, I'm sorry, yeah.
How many?
Just roll them in order, and I'll count them. It's going to be 6 total.
Okay. I think I failed a couple.
All right.
Okay, I got a 25, a 24.
Succeeds.
13.
Succeeds.
A 12.
Succeeds.
And then a 9 and a 6.
The 9 and the 6. As the wave after wave of necrotic damage just washes over this bear, knocking him unconscious, and the figure of Cress reforms on the ground as it takes another blast of necrotic damage. You stand up, and then just 6 creepy spectral hands reach forward and attempt to grasp your entirety. You are able to shake off the first few, but it's just too much. There's too many of these fanatics, and they reach, the hands reach you, grasp around you, and you feel paralyzed, completely helpless. Save ends. So you can make that save now. You have to pass 2 of them to break free of this.
Wait. So 13 and a 17.
You managed to break free, but the fanatics, they're just going to do it again. But this time it's going to be all... okay. No, one of them's going to make his necrotic attack against you again.
Okay.
So, does a 16 versus AC hit?
It does.
Ooh.
I think Cress is going down.
This is terrible, horrible. How much HP do you have?
14.
What's your maximum?
31.
I rolled 1 short of max damage on this, so that is 23 necrotic damage washes over your body.
That is a lot of damage.
They're casting this as a level 3 spell.
So, Cress has
level
hit
2, I'm sorry.
-9 hit points, whatever you want that to look like.
Cress is blasted unconscious as wave after wave of this necrotic energy is just washed over him. He's able to put up a valiant effort, just a super, super good effort against this overwhelming force.
I'm going to say he tries to, change... You see him, flash into, tiger, and then, the spider, and then he just melts into unconsciousness.
Yeah, I like it.
'Cause he was going to become another animal.
A tiger?
I was thinking spider, but didn't get that far.
The fanatics move forward, and they're actually going to stabilize Cress. So you don't need to make any of the death saves. They bind your hands and feet with the manacles again, and they drag both you and Mal back into the cavern, throwing your bodies into the rowboats, and you just see flashes as you fade in and out of consciousness. Your body totally beaten and bruised. They drag you through the main cavern that you saw with all of the tables and whatnot off into the side. This would be the west side of the map that I gave you. And they bring you through a tunnel, and you see several cages lining the walls as you fade in and out, and just iron bars. They open one and throw you in one. They open another and throw Mal in it. The two of you are isolated, alone in those cells.
There's no one with us?
In the cells, you guys are alone, but there are other people in the room. I'm going to roll the D4 to see how long it takes you to wake up with 1 HP. So that's 2 hours. 2 hours pass as you just sort of cling to the edge of life. You warble back to existence after quite a bit of time has passed. And as you come to, you see Mal in the cell next to you, just going crazy, beating on his door and shouting at the top of his lungs. He keeps looking over to another cell. There it looks to be a woman in the cell, and he is going crazy trying to get out of this thing.
Cress is waking up with 1 HP, right? Is that how this works? I don't
That's
die
right.
very often. Cress,
you wake up and find that you've been stripped of all of your materials and components.
Cress is rubbing his head, and then he looks around for his staff right away.
That's sitting just out of your reach on a table outside of your cell.
So he's just rubbing his head, and he's just going, and then he goes, Mal, quit banging on everything.
And Mal totally doesn't acknowledge that Cress is okay or even awake. He's just going to continue banging on his cell bars and looking over at this woman. You hear him shout, Mira, we're going to get you out of here. I'm going to save you. And uncharacteristically emotional and loud. He seems to have been... He's just crazy at this point. He's just crazy. Totally abandoning his composure and whatnot. He's just mad trying to get out of his cell.
Okay. Cress is gonna try to relax.
Just chill
and meditate. And
okay.
Are his hands bound?
You've been unbound at this point.
Okay, he's gonna cast Cure Wounds on himself.
Okay.
I'm assuming he has 1 HP.
Yes.
So he's gonna meditate really hard and cast it as a 2nd level spell, and heal for 11.
Great. As you're doing these things, from the tunnel to the north, you see a cloaked figure walk back through into this sort of makeshift prison area, and he walks up to the table and grabs a chair, which he slides rather ominously. Walking away, he kind of flicks your staff a little bit. And he drags the chair over in front of your cell, your cage, and he sits down in front of you.
I see.
And he looks straight at you.
Cress's eyes are closed right now. He's just like meditating with his eyes closed. Not even.
Oh, he's totally unaware.
He's aware.
Surprise round. He stabs you in the head.
No, I'm just. He's heard the person approach, but isn't opening his eyes to look at him.
Okay.
This man is a bully, and Cress knows that you just don't acknowledge the bullying.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. He's come here to tell you that you look like a dork.
So he's gonna...
You look like a dork.
You're doing it... he's doing it for attention. and I'm not rewarding it with attention. I'm just gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna probably cast Cure Wounds again.
As he sits down and looks at you with your eyes closed, he says in a strange, like piercing voice. It's not high pitched, but it resonates really creepily in your head. He says, "Who are you, and how did you find out about us?"
Cress is just gonna keep his eyes closed, and he's murmuring under. He's gonna heal himself again, right in front of this guy. I'm trying to close the wounds so I'm not bleeding.
Sure.
It's not working. I'm up to 18 hit points. Oh wait, no, I'm not bleeding.
There you go.
I'm just bad at math, so I've stopped bleeding.
Roll a math check.
So I've stopped bleeding, and I...
Okay, that's good. Are you going to respond to him at all? Or are you just going to stay silent and ignore him?
I'm not going to open my eyes. I'm just sitting there meditating, and I'm going to go, sometimes I don't even know who I am.
The Crescere disciple, he's having none of this, pseudo deep intellectual whatever, and he angrily just gets up and walks away and says, "Suit yourself." Do you do anything while you're just chilling here alone?
Did the guy leave?
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, there's people standing guard, but they're not doing anything. They're just standing there talking to each other.
Are they watching me?
They're paying attention enough to notice you.
Okay, well, Cress is gonna start to panic a little and ditch the cool act.
Okay.
And he's gonna like scramble around the cage looking for any leaves or anything.
There's really nothing. It's totally barren here. The situation for you is looking bleak and rather dire.
He's kind of going crazy. Like he doesn't have any nature. His staff's even away from him. There's this madman banging on the cage next to him. So
poor Mal.
He's just kind of, so it was trying to be really calm to disarm the guard earlier.
Sure.
But
and as you're frantically searching around, the guard actually, the man who spoke with you returns. This time he's holding a book, and he drags the chair back over, and he sits down, and he says, "Aren't you curious what we're doing here? I'm sure you know. You've sought us out."
I don't know what you're doing. Doesn't seem right. You're taking people. You guys are all cutting into your bodies.
For the glory of Axakath, of course.
Axakath. Is that your god?
Axakath is the master.
You are elves.
He knows and sees far beyond you and I.
I didn't think I'd see the day when elves would worship something other than Lunam.
You see, he holds the secrets to releasing your power.
You guys are some sick, twisted elves.
You'll see when he's brought back to us. He'll bathe all of us in his might.
You guys are talking like humans and not like elves.
It's all here. You can read it for yourself, and then you will see. It's here in the Cruoricae Cognitius. Here, you take it. You should read through his writings. You can join us on a path to true empowerment. Here, take the book. Read it. And he pushes the book between the bars of your cell.
Okay, Cress sees this as an opportunity. Can I make a persuasion check? Or deception?
Sure. I mean, it's impossible, but yes.
I just rolled a 7, and he's going to be like,
He doesn't even respond to anything. He just hands you. He's almost in a trance. It's kind of creepy looking.
Nothing Cress loves more than being locked up with a book.
So do you take the book?
Yeah, he's taking it. He's trying to look excited about it, but in reality, this is worse than being like shackled to the wall. Like he doesn't want a book.
The man, as he shoves the book into your hand, says, "Simply open the book. I will cut your hand, and then you press it to the page, and you'll be one of us. You'll know the might and power of Axakath."
Cress is going to consider this.
All right.
And then he is going to make a ranged attack for 8 to whip the book at this guy as hard as he can.
As you pick the book up and attempt to throw it through the slats of your prison cell, the book crashes into thin air, it seems, and you see a faint red, transparent wall appear around your cell. And as the book impacts it, a man in the cell across from yours begins shouting in pain. Roll a d6 to see how much damage this book deals.
6 max.
The man in the cell across from you is shouting in pain as he begins coughing up blood and spitting it onto the ground.
Cress sees this and goes, "What are you doing to him?"
"It's you who's doing it. All you have to do is open the book and seal the blood pact."
What's the book made out of?
What is the you're asking me or the...
Yeah, out of character.
Okay. The book it's extremely ornate. The cover is in a deep red leather with all sorts of crazy strange symbol. What languages do you speak?
I speak the secret language of Druidic.
Really?
Elven.
Okay.
Common and Sylvan.
Sylvan, that's the Fey language, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You don't recognize what language is the runes on this book are written in, but there's like these metallic characters.
Okay.
All over the cover. The corners
is
are bound in brass and iron, and it's very ornate and very fancy looking.
Cress is gonna stare at this guy, like glare at him.
Okay.
He's gonna start whispering in Elvish and be like, "Ignatus," and then he's gonna produce a flame in his hand.
Okay.
And just shove it at the book's cover, a green flame.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
As the flame approaches the book, the same red wall of light appears. This time surrounding the book. You get the sense that this is the source of the protection rather than the cage, the wall of the cage or something.
It was a gamble.
So roll whatever damage is associated with that attack again. Okay. We'll see if you kill this old man.
1d8. 3.
Okay, he's doubled over in pain. Part of his left arm becomes singed with fire, but he's still clinging to life as he whimpers in pain over in his cell. And agent
take this instrument of the devil's away from me, and he's gonna try and hand the book back through the bars.
The agent reaches through the bars. He takes the book and walks away and says, "You've made your choice then." And leaves you alone again with the various prisoners in this dungeon. The man who has been just hurt pretty significantly by you.
I can't touch him, right? He's not close enough.
Oh no, he's very far away from you. He looks up at you with sadness in his eyes, and he says, "Why are you doing this? I have done nothing."
I didn't know.
You and he's just coughing and blood, he's in a mess, and he pleads with you. He's looking into your eyes, and he says, "You must save us. Where have you come from?"
I don't. It's a complicated question. Well, if you must know, I've been in the jungle for 46 years.
And then after Cress finishes telling his entire life story, several years have passed. No.
Cress is gonna look at this guy and say, "I know none of this seems right, but Lunam sent me here for a reason."
"Lunam is returned?"
Yes. Yep.
"Then there is hope. Who are you?"
I am Duoboris Crescere Une.
"Champion of Lunam. Praise be." And
Cress is a little taken aback by this.
As he says these things, you see him sort of then become very angry immediately and shout, "Guards, come quickly!" And when they come to his cell, he says, "This man, his name is Duoboris Crescere Une. He claims to be an agent of Lunam."
Uh-oh.
And he seems to be pleading with them to let him go. Like he's turncoat. He's just totally throwing you under the bus in an effort
Why is everybody doing this to Cress?
save his skin. He's pissed at you. You hurt him pretty badly. And
Can I like throw fire at my cage wall again?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. It's only 1 damage.
Damage.
Cress is gonna throw a little green fireball, try out of his cage toward that guy.
One of the crew agents actually steps in front, and a magical barrier bursts forward, and the spell crashes into it, and dissipates.
Doesn't burn
over
old
top
man
of it.
again.
No, he shielded all of that damage.
So Cress kind of pissed that he didn't get to that. This old man, everybody's turning on him.
Basically.
He's in a cell. He doesn't have his staff. Mal looks like he's gone off the deep end. And Cress is just going to go back to meditating, this time casting Detect Magic as a ritual. Just trying to figure out what's going on here.
As you're doing this, the man who's been talking to you walks back over. This time he seems totally, like, vacant. There is nothing in his eyes to suggest that he is aware of anything that's going on. He sits down in the chair again, and he says to you,
"So you discovered my little puppet show. No matter. They will do as they are commanded and carry out my plan regardless of your interference."
Can I make a check to see if I know if I'm being spoken to by Axakath?
You recognize pretty easily that this is not this man's voice. His mouth is moving and the words are coming out, but it doesn't look natural. It's like a bad foreign film dubbed over with subtitle or with a track. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in it, like, I can't do it because I'm a human being and not a demon or something horrible, but it's like that creepy voice that's like doubled up and
I know.
Yeah, distorted.
So Cress is just going to say, Axakath.
Lunam has sent you here to stop me. So much for that. We shall have a creative punishment for those who stand against Axacath.
Cold shouldering. This guy's a bully too.
The Crescere agent actually slumps over in his seat, totally just goes limp, and stays that way for several minutes before eventually coming to, and he walks straight out of there. Do you do anything while he's gone?
I'm still looking for. I'm trying to get my staff as desperately as possible, so I'm looking for anything that could let me have my staff back.
Sure, that makes sense.
So he's looking for leaves or something to try and thorn whip his staff over, or I don't know.
The agents, they return as you're doing this, and one of the disciples walks over to the table, gathers all of your things, and walks away with them, and 5 others come through. Are you going to resist them, I assume?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so do 5 wisdom saves.
That's 6. Hold on. Okay. Oh, they're low. 9, 11. That one's a 23, and that one's an 18, and that one is a 19. But
okay,
I got a 5 or whatever, 9 and 11.
The 9 actually fails, and you are totally paralyzed. The other Crescere agents open the cell doors, walk in, bind your hands and ankles, and pick you up. The paralysis is released on you, and you're led out of your cell back through the tunnel. You can hear the same process being done to Mal and to the woman that he's been looking at, who he called Mira. And the 3 of you are led across the main cavern, off to the eastern side of this this hideout, through the tunnel, and you emerge from the passageway and see a massive altar. There are 4 very tall pillars reaching up 30 feet to the ceiling that are carved, just very intricate carvings up and down the whole thing. And it looks as if there's like blood flowing down these things, but it can't. That can't be possible. It must be some sort of illusion or something. And they dot the corners of this altar. 3 very large steps rise from the ground up to the top, and at the top there are, and they're leading you up these steps across the different runes and inscriptions carved into the stone, and at the top there's it looks like a stone platform, like maybe a bed, and there's channels leading out of it onto the ground to the corners of this platform, which there are 4 very deep pools that are currently half filled with blood. And they take Mira, actually, up to this this altar and lay her down, binding her to it. And one of
out
the
of character,
yeah,
I'm horrified.
Yeah,
and in character.
Yeah.
Well, I think Cress is more just like enraged, and I want to say like Wild Shape is kind of trying to burst out. Like there's tiger hair kind of springing forth and then going back because he's manacled.
Sure.
And you hear like growls of like, and he's just kind of going crazy.
One of the Crescere agents maybe punches you in the mouth as you do this, and he actually is going to wrap your belongings, all of them, around you, sort of strap them to you.
Okay, He's feeling more comfortable with his staff nearby.
And as he does this, they strapped Mira to this altar, and one of them holds the head of Mal in the direction, prying his eyes open as they take out this ornate ceremonial dagger, which seems... It's sort of like the opposite of illuminated. The light around it seems dim and dull, and life just... It seems like it's some sort of evil, monstrous thing. And they bring it down straight into the chest.
Oh, God. I'm looking... Right now, as a player, I'm shuffling through my spells for, like, true resurrection. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm just like, there's gotta be something.
They bring it down into her chest, and the blood begins to pour out. And Mal just starts going absolutely crazy. He breaks free, actually, of the people holding him, and he runs bound up to the altar, and he's just crashing into everything, doing whatever he can to knock them loose. And as this is happening, one of the crew or agents standing next to Cress begins chanting something, and you see the air in front of you begins to tear and part ways, and you smell fire and blood and monsters on the other side of this portal, and it begins to grow. And as it grows, one of the agent that strapped your belongings to you moves behind you, and when it's large enough, he kicks you straight forward into this portal, and you're flung away from this place, and all you can hear as you go through are the frantic screams of Mal trying to exact his vengeance.
Cress has calmed down, oddly, that he has a staff near him.
Okay.
But is kind of, at the same time, remembering what it was like when he lost Nidore.
Ooh.
And is just kind of like being thrown back into that and trying to stay calm, but he's not aware that he's hurtling through planar existence or whatever's happening.
You are alone with your thoughts in the sea of black as you hurtle through something, and eventually you sort of pass out. Your consciousness fades away and returns to you as you as you wake up on a black sand beach, your face down in this sand, and you look up. The sky is red. There are flying monsters all around, a great river off in the distance, and you know that you are in the 9 hells.
I see. Have I gotten a long rest?
Yeah, we'll say that you had a long rest.
Better gave it even in hell.
Well, you were going to maybe pass out on the beach regardless. The manacles were torn off of you as you were thrown through. So that's going to end this episode. But next time you'll be on the beaches of the 9 hells, the shore of the 9 hells.
Okay.
Rested up and ready to tackle whatever horrible things are going on in that place.
So let me just clarify, because
okay.
I'm processing all of this. Cress is, as a character, existing in the 9 hells.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take up next week getting up off this beach after having a long rest and from just exploring from there.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. It's confusing when you die but you don't die. I was just trying to figure out.
You were not killed. You were thrown through a portal.
I was creatively punished.
That's right. Axacath decided that it would be too simple just to kill you. So
I'm going to throw Axacath into a different plane of existence.
Yeah, plane of bunnies and dull objects.
Yeah, take that. There won't be blood anywhere.
Yeah, every time you stab somebody, all that comes out is ice cream.
Yeah.
Gross. Questions, comments, concerns?
I'm a little emotional. That was some heavy stuff.
Good.
but good. Do you remember? Did you read The Golden Compass or His Dark Materials?
I did.
It reminds me of some scenes from that when they're spoilers, when they're separating people from their souls in order to rip planar existence.
Yeah.
So like this whole witness of this power, and I feel like that would be something powerful to rip planar existence. That was
absolutely
good.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, my heart's going pretty fast.
Well,
I really did look through my spell. I don't know why. Like I'm just like, oh, I could cure wounds. I'll do a 2nd level cure wounds, and that dagger wound will clean right up.
You'll be fine. You're totally fine. She's not gonna be fine.
I don't think so. And I'm in hell.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll meet some interesting people. Yeah, we'll pick back up with that next time. Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. That's all for us this week, I think. We do this every Thursday.
Woot woot.
And if you like it, you should also check out D6 Mafia's Threshold Classic.
There you go.
D6mafia.com or youtube.com/the D6mafia. They release on Mondays. Yeah.
Monday schedule.
And we're on Twitter and Facebook at Studio LT3. Both of them. So
come and talk to us, please. Right now, actually, we will be doing a giveaway. I think I announced it last week.
Oh, yeah, you bought fancy dice, right?
I did. I purchased a couple different items from Norse Foundry. They make really cool metallic dice. And I'm not exactly sure, because we're recording this on a Saturday before, so we'll come up with the rules and information for what you need to do if you'd like to win a set of these dice or whatever it is that there's some dice, and there's also a super big metal D20. And we'll have details and information about how you can enter to win if you'd like this for yourself. And make sure you check that out. It'll probably be on Twitter. It would be your best bet. And do that, because I'm super excited to have these cool things, and I want to give people cool stuff. So, yeah. Other than that, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.